So speaking about chargers and the fact that they're no longer included inside the box of your iPhone purchase and presumably your upcoming smartphone purchase, since Samsung appears set to do something similar to what Apple did, we had a weird debate that emerged yesterday on Twitter around the idea of these boxes and whether or not they should be held onto, with or without a charger having originally shipped in them. Just boxes in general. iPhone boxes, but I think we can open the discussion to smartphone boxes, gadget boxes, laptop boxes, whatever box a person feels compelled to hold on to, and whether or not it's justified for an individual to hold on to this box or if they should just ditch it. So it started with a question from Twitter user Bissarat. I don't know who needs to hear this, but throw away that box your iPhone came in. You don't need it. You will never need it. And that had 680,000 likes and 63,000 people tweeting about it. Tremendous, incredible. It struck a nerve with people feeling passionate on both sides of this particular argument. And by the way, this is one of those real viral tweets.
Yeah.
It came from an individual without a tremendous number of followers, 2,891 followers. Probably many of them came because of this tweet as well. So anyway, this tweet takes off and people start talking about it. They say the pros and cons. So the pros for holding onto the box are pretty straightforward. You have certain identification characteristics like your IMEI number that are on the box in case for whatever reason you can't get into your phone and you need to access that. It's a backup. And then also for resale. So if you go to sell your device at a later date on, let's say, eBay or Craigslist or whatever around here, people use Kijiji, something like this. Buyers appreciate having had the original box. And they may pay you a little extra if the original box is included. So that's the argument for keeping the box. The argument for not keeping the box is pretty obvious. It's taking up space. You have limited space. And where do you draw the line hanging on to all this cardboard? But I think the reason that this particular topic has struck a chord is because people don't just hold on to their boxes quietly for that one day when they sell. They kind of display them in some circumstance. You see it on the bookshelf.
Yeah.
So they had the boxes up there like a point of pride, as if they've achieved something, like trophies on the shelf. Now, I'm not telling people how to behave, but I can see why that might rub some people the wrong way, particularly if they don't have those devices or appreciate other devices that are different from your particular selections. So, things like this. You might have it might not even be resentment. It might just be that a person disagrees that you should showcase your consumption habits in the form of the boxes displayed on your shelves. These are all the potential takes, but it stirred things up online, and it had people thinking about what else they could do with boxes, with iPhone boxes, that might actually lead to something useful outside of just leaving it on the shelf for display. So you have certain Twitter users that turned, well, in this case, you can see the box has been turned into a kind of makeshift stand for Halloween. I believe if you continue to scroll down, you'll see other options, a place to hold pins, push pins inside of one of the compartments of the Apple box. A joystick was built into the box of an iPhone 6S.
That's fun.
So many different ways in which there's an Etch-a-Sketch that fit into, I guess that's an iPad box. Anyway, the question remains, Will.
Yeah.
I gave you all the different points of view on this. Do you hold on to your iPhone, smartphone, laptop, tablet box?
I do, yeah.
You do.
And it's mainly for resale.
But you don't resale, do you?
I used to.
I know, but now
back
you don't.
In the day.
Now you don't.
No, I don't. I leave the boxes here.
So first
in
of
the
all,
studio.
for you and I, it's a very bizarre
it's a different scenario
conversation because we just have a lot of devices around. But I'm asking you to imagine your just will do outside of this particular job, and then you think you probably would be reselling.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't stick the box on like a mantle or like a glass case to present it.
Yeah.
But it would be in storage somewhere.
Yeah. I would say I transitioned actually in my life. I would
did you?
say I used to be box camp.
Okay.
I'm hanging on to boxes. I mean, I named a channel on box therapy. I used to hang on to boxes. Now I am so far the other way in my
You're
my
done
life.
with them. Who
I have
needs them?
it's so much crap, it's so much stuff from this channel. You start to look at it differently. It's less of a worship thing anymore, where it's like, oh wow, the careful little, the precious thing, and it's just inevitable with the amount of exposure to gadgets and products and things like this. It's going to happen. And so, and also at my house, there's a lot of people, there's a dog now, there's just stuff, man.
Yeah.
And in a way, as I've aged, I've begun to appreciate the absence of stuff more than the presence of stuff. And I'm talking all stuff that I feel a greater sense of calm and a greater sense of some type of order when the stuff is not overflowing.
Are you a minimalist?
No, I'm
now?
not a minimalist. I'm
Okay.
definitely not to that level yet. I think if you go too far, things can feel it might not be a comfortable place to be.
Yeah.
But there is a line for each individual. I'll just say I definitely have been traveling this spectrum towards an appreciation towards a lack of stuff. And I just recently purchased some accessories and things for stuff at home. I fixed the Apple remote problem, which I don't know if we want to go into this whole thing, but actually a user on Twitter recommended that I just put a case on it, a fat case. I found a fat case, which was also neon in color. And I'm not going to remember the name of the company that made it right now. But I purchased one of these so that, something like this, so that the remote would be more ergonomic to hold and be less likely to go missing. Just a little substance to it. Super happy with it. But anyways, I purchased a couple of other accessories, including that's a nice one right there. The wooden TV remote case. Maybe I should pick that up, but it is $50. Which, and the dog's going to chew on it likely as soon as it's the nice. But that's nice what they did there.
It is, yeah.
Maybe I will pick that up. Anyway, so I ordered some other Apple accessories, Apple specific stuff, including a keyboard case for an iPad, like their expensive keyboard. I chucked that box so fast. I barely had the thing out. And I was frisbeeing that baby all the way to recycling.
Yeah.
I couldn't get out of my face fast enough, all this extra packaging. So anyway, it's like, it is a transition thing. But I get it. I think probably if I was single and I had limited possessions, and this was really a big deal to have this phone or whatever, and I could keep it relatively condensed, the number of boxes I was holding onto, because that's really what I would have used to do.
Yeah. It is nostalgic in a sense too. You know, the box is very pristine. You kind of look at it and it
Feels new. You
it brings
remember
the
getting your
experience back
device.
of when
Yeah,
you
man.
first
It's
got
all
it.
heavy stuff in there as far as enthusiasm around tech products. I'm not hating on anyone. I think you can justify in either direction. I'm just talking about the transition I made in my life around boxes. Willie do. I really feel like it's this exposure. I feel like you did the same to a certain extent. Like you would have been far on one spectrum, and then it's this exposure we've had through this life that we've led the last, for me, I don't know, more than a decade. For you, 6 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It changes you.
It does.
It really
For sure.
absolutely changes you.